What's going on, Patriots fans? Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here to Patriots Today by Chat Sports. On today's show, I will be breaking down your questions surrounding the New England Patriots, whether or not we're going to win another ball game this year. Is there going to be a head coaching change? What is the offseason going to look like? Don't worry, guys. We're going to unpack that and more on today's show. Thank you guys so much to all those that did participate when I post this on the community page. Asked you guys for questions, but thankfully we have supporters on YouTube and on social media. If you guys are not following on social media, go on ahead and follow me at AR Barefoot on X and at Boston Barefoot on TikTok. I know a lot of you guys like memes and trends. I try to get into those. I also like to post clips from my shows, make a little condensed version. That way you guys don't have to sit through 10 minutes if you guys don't have the time. So nonetheless, go on ahead, help your girl out, follow me on social medias, and let's go on ahead and dive into today's mailbag. Boston Bob coming in, my A1 day one. Appreciate you, Bob. Should we draft a left tackle or try to get a good one in free agency? The only issue with trying to get a good one in free agency is that there aren't a ton in this pool upcoming, and if they are very good, I could see them re-signing with their team because, let's face it, good left tackles in this league are very hard to come by. And with that, the good ones are really going to be trying to just soak up all of the money they possibly can. So my only fear is that you use your projected cap space, spend a lot of it on a left tackle. It just may seem like a really big investment. But if you look at the draft right now where the Patriots are sitting at third in the NFL draft, the Raiders and Giants ahead of them, they're going to be looking for a quarterback. So the Patriots could still try and use that first-round draft pick on a wide receiver and an early second-round draft pick on a still very good offensive lineman in the draft. It may not be a first pick, but you can always look at a Will Campbell-esque type of player if you are trying to adapt to that left tackle position. So I'm going to go with draft. I would not be opposed to possibly trying to find the best solution at left tackle in free agency. I do think you should still go out and get some offensive linemen in free agency, but if there's a good guy in the draft, eat him up early. Another question coming in here from Michelle. In your opinion, should we find a new offensive coordinator because we need to be utilizing Drake Maye's skill set? He is 6'4", 225 pounds. Miss Girl, I know, and we are treating him like he is 5'11" with the smallest hands in the draft, and he can't ever get hurt. This dude's an athlete, man. This dude, not only is he an athlete, he's a younger sibling. If any of you are lucky enough to be younger siblings like I am, we take a lot of crap. My brother went through several wrestling phases. Okay, I know how to get out of a chokehold now. When you have a younger sibling like that, he's tough, man. Utilize him. Put him on the 1-yard line and push him forward to get that first down. But let's go back to the offensive coordinator position, not what happened or should have happened in the Arizona Cardinals game. It's a tricky situation. I think we should get a new offensive coordinator because I do not think that Alex Van Pelt utilizes Drake Maye's skill set in the correct way. But on the other shoulder, you may run a risk of putting too much on Drake Maye's plate by throwing too many offensive coordinators at him. He is transitioning into the professional football league. It's going to be a lot harder than college. And if you throw another offensive coordinator at him that may have a very different playbook for him, will have a very different playbook for him, it could be a lot. It could mess with his technique. It could mess with him as a player. So it's going to be a very strategic move whether to keep or fire Alex Van Pelt in this offseason. And let's just be honest, I'm glad I'm not Mr. Kraft. Another question coming up. Cosmic Boy, Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty, said that he would do anything to get T. Higgins to stay with the Bengals after the season is over. If he is successful, who are the most likely free agent wide receivers that would sign with the Patriots during this offseason? So I'm going to be honest, I have been very open about my opinion on whether or not I think T. Higgins will make his way to New England. Do I want T. Higgins? Absolutely. Do I think New England has a situation that would accommodate T. Higgins with a rookie quarterback and no top wide receiver? Absolutely. But I could see T. Higgins wanting to chase a winning franchise, and that's not New England right now. I could see him looking at Green Bay or looking at the San Francisco 49ers or looking at Tampa Bay with a Baker Mayfield or re-signing with Joe Burrow, but I don't think the Cincinnati Bengals can keep Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, and T. Higgins. I just don't think that financially that will work out. But the good news is there are several other players that are supposed to be supposedly hitting free agency this coming off season. And T. Higgins obviously is the number one wide receiver in free agency, supposedly hitting this season. Amari Cooper with the Bills. My favorite out of this would be Chris Godwin of the Buccaneers. I think Chris Godwin would be a really good veteran presence with Drake Maye. He would automatically become wide receiver 1, which right now in Tampa Bay he's wide receiver 2. Stephon Diggs, I think he's a little bit more flashy for New England. I think he would be searching for a Baltimore Ravens or a team like that. Team that is already filled with superstars. And DeAndre Hopkins, he went to the Titans. Now he's with the Chiefs. I think Chris Godwin is really your best bet here. Obviously coming back from an injury, so he would have a lot to prove in the next year. So if we can't get T. Higgins, do not worry. It is not the end of the world. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know if New England's going to end up getting T. Higgins. I don't know if this is what T. Higgins is looking for. But obviously, I would welcome him with open arms if he did want to come and play for the Patriots. So I have a question for you guys right here. Which wide receiver free agent do you want in New England? Obviously, I'm going to go T. Higgins, but I would really make a good offer. Whatever offer you give to T. Higgins, and if he declines it, give the same offer to Chris Godwin. I think you just shoot for the moon and do not swing and miss like we did with Ridley, Debo, and of course with Brandon Ayuk this offseason. Before I break down any more of y'all's questions on today's show, I do want to tell you guys about our sponsor here, and that is going to be GameTime. If you guys are looking for a gift this holiday season, can I offer you tickets to a concert, sporting event, comedy show, or the theater? Not to mention, GameTime is the best place to get tickets to any of those events, whether it's for the holidays or all year round. And with GameTime, you know there are guarantees in life. You know that you will get the lowest price guaranteed. You're going to get all-in pricing, which does mean that you will have all total fees up front. There will be no hidden fees at checkout. And you also do get to see a nice little view from your seat in the app before you buy. If you guys want to go see the Chargers at Patriots, one of their final home games this season before we head into the offseason, go on ahead and use GameTime. Not to mention, one of my favorite features is GameTime Picks, which filters out all the fluff to make sure you're getting the best deals on the best seats without having to search through thousands and thousands of tickets. I just recently used GameTime to get tickets to the Dallas Stars, and it was the best time I have had in an NHL game. A lot of laughs, a lot of, unfortunately, no fights, but I did eat a lot of peanuts, which was a lot of fun. So if you guys want to go on ahead and download the GameTime app, just be sure to use that promo code CHATSPORTS. This is going to give you guys $20 off your first time buying tickets while terms apply. One more time, download the GameTime app. Use promo code CLNS to give you guys $50 instantly when you do play this will give you $20 off your first time buying tickets while terms do apply. What time is it? It is game time. James Tree coming in with a pretty hot question here. Was Kendrick Bourne a bad re-signing? If you guys did not know, we did re-sign Kendrick Bourne in the offseason for a 3-year extension, and he is coming off an injury, and we hadn't seen him play until after week 4. I'm just going to flat out say no. Kendrick Bourne was not a bad re-signing. I do think that the veteran presence and the consistency that you could possibly develop with Kendrick Bourne, with Drake Maye, is why you brought him back. You have to think about it. Pop Douglas, not the most experienced wide receiver. Jalen Polk, Javon Baker, 2 rookie busts, if I may. When you've got a guy like Kendrick Bourne, you've got a guy that knows the system on offense. He's got a little bit better hands than a Kayshon Boutte. I think that Kendrick Bourne was not a bad re-signing for the future of developing a rookie quarterback. If you had a veteran quarterback, maybe if they never had a connection, Kendrick Bourne wouldn't be the right fit, but look, I think Bourne is a solid option to have at wide receiver. He's not going to push the needle. He's not going to be over 1,000-yard receiver. It's just not in his DNA right now because he's coming off an injury. So ultimately, I'm going to go with no, but time will tell, I guess, how that will work out. I really like this question coming in from Brizo. I mean, just short and to the point. Trust the process or start over. Man, have I teetered back and forth on this time and time again. There are several areas where you either trust the process or start over. It can be with your offensive line, your wide receivers, but I'm going to primarily focus right here on the head coach. It's either you got to trust that Jerod Mayo is going to need a little bit of time to develop, especially with a little bit of more resources on offense and defense than what he was given initially, or you cut the ties right now. You just clean slate, Jerod Mayo. It was a one and done. I'm sorry. 5 years ago, when I thought I wanted you, it didn't work out that way. I thought we'd have a better team in 5 years, probably is what he's thinking. And I know Robert Kraft didn't even know who Drake May was 5 years ago. So that's how you know that was just a terrible decision down the line. I would initially go with start over. And the reason why, right now, I would say start over is because you've got Mike Vrabel and Josh Daniels still available. You know that if you were to start over right now, you can go out and get a good head coach and a good offensive coordinator. If there was nobody else on the head coach market, and you're looking at hiring like Doug Peterson or somebody, or like a Sean Payton, I don't know, then I'd probably be like, you know what, trust the process. I don't really know how much else is out there. But because you've got a good head coaching pool right now, whether it's Robert Saleh, whether it's going to be a defensive coordinator from the Vikings or an offensive coordinator from the Lions that's looking for a head coaching job, I say you start over. But that is just my opinion. My next question and last question I have for you guys here, the same question. Trust the process or start over? Type T for trust, type S for start over. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I mean, I may just be, really out there with my take, but I just don't see Jerod Mayo being a winning head coach in the next 3 seasons. I really don't, and that's just me. So if you guys haven't already, go on ahead and hit that sub button for me. And as always, I am available on X and TikTok. Give me a follow and subscribe.